Okay, so I did some complaining about this, so I guess it's probably only fair if I just go ahead and demonstrate it. Uh, I'm not gonna act like this is a first look at Pillars of Eternity 2. Uh, though it does fit the framework of the first playthrough and first look at Disco Elysium, or framework, or model, or it's a parallel. I just got done, well, not just, earlier. I recorded the Stardew Valley bit where I complained about this game and this series for a couple of different reasons. And I wanna demonstrate it rather than just talking about it, because one of the things I complained about this series is its propensity and its habit of showing, or telling, but not showing. And I want, God, just fucking load. Shouldn't have clicked. This boy is not a good sign. I want to. There we go. If you didn't watch it, I'll get into it. Yeah, sure. We'll pick that one. Whatever. So compare the amount of time it takes to make a new character in Disco Elysium, which you click New Game, it jumps you right into the character creator, you assign the stats, and the stat blocks are pretty quick, then you can like read about them and get into the nitty gritty. It's a 10-minute process, maybe. Start now. We're 2 minutes into this. We're not 2 minutes, but I'll say 2 minutes. So first you have to make a decision based off of no context what you want the entire game to be like, which is, I mean, it's cool that they added in a turn-based mode, but still, this is a heavy thing to front-load with, but okay. You have to compare all these. I think it starts you out on relax. Ah, shit, I'm playing on relax. That's why it's so easy. It defaults to relax. Fuck. I might have to restart the save I'm playing on my own, but whatever. Then you have to read, oh, what's this? Oh, what's this? Disco Elysium's just like, press start, go. So this is a little exhausting, but whatever. And I'm not going to skip the intro because I want this to take the amount of time that it did the first time. Disco Elysium had 10 minutes into the game, 10-15 minutes until I died and got a game over. And I loved it. I was playing this for the first time last night, and I got a game over screen in a very similar parallel. I fucking hated it. It almost made me refund the game because it just was so tonally deaf. And I mean, you'll see it. You'll see it. Disco Elysium's death is, you're warned about it multiple times about how seriously you should be in the middle for most of your stats. Extremes are very dangerous. Even good stats can be very dangerous. Low stats can be very dangerous. And it introduces you to the idea the character you're playing is being very troubled, not in good health, and all these other things. And so when I went to turn on the ceiling fan, or turn off the ceiling fan, and had a heart attack because I got a critical fail, and that took away my 1 HP.
A world where mortals live, die, and are reborn through the turning of the wheel. The cycle of reincarnation watched over by the gods, and made possible through pillars of a mystical substance known as Audra. 5 years ago, you traveled from your home to the Dyrwood, a nation that had waged war against the incarnated god of light, Aethys, resulting in his destruction. The country suffered from a plague of Hollowborn, infants born without souls, that many believed was punishment for killing a god. In an ancient, secluded ruin, you witnessed a secret ritual that inadvertently transformed you into a watcher. One who can see and speak with souls. The ritual also gave you horrible visions, waking nightmares of a past life that threatened your sanity. To put them to rest, you pursued the man who had led the ritual, a seemingly immortal agent of the gods, known as Theos Ix Arcanon. With divine assistance, you confronted and defeated Theos, ending your visions and resolving the Hollowborn crisis. In so doing, you also learned the great secret that Theos had protected. That the ancient empire of Anguith had transformed themselves into gods. Your visions finally put to rest, you retired to the castle of Cadnua, built atop a massive statue of pure Audra, where you ruled in relative peace and prosperity.
Oh, hey, do I get to play the game? Oh, no, sorry. It's another cutscene.
You fixing up that old keep? Lifting the curse? Must have told it 100 times. But something got to gnawing at me. You're thinking the spirits there weren't really at rest. That maybe the gods weren't finished with us. My God came back. He would forgive us. Last the trouble with dreams. Sooner or later, we all have to wake up.
Now, it was way better than the earlier bit. But still, I clicked play. And it's been 5 minutes of ah shit, now the console's open. It's been 5 fucking minutes of not play.
And so you wake to a sleepless world.
Oh god, in this bit.
The in-between of life and death.
Yep.
Follow your memories. You have been here before.
Shit. Oh, escape also exiting. Okay, cool. Tilde is my mute button, which was, in retrospect, a terrible choice.
Past the shroud.
And now it's a fucking cutscene in disguise.
Stay.
It's more annoying and egregious because it's not just playing a cutscene, which I had enough of already. Now it's a cutscene I have to passively interact with in a way that doesn't meaningfully impact anything. Also, the game did not tutorialize how to move. I knew how to move because I've played these kinds of games before, but it doesn't teach us how to move. It's just like, hey, move.
What is a god?
Yep.
A higher power, a rewarder of good deeds.
I get it, right? You have to introduce all these ideas and storytelling elements from the first game,
but something else entirely.
but you don't. You don't see Mass Effect 2 just dedicating a solid quarter of an hour to the beginning of the game, with just bashing you over the head with last time on Dragon Ball Z. Just enough. I get it. Now Dragon Ball Z is a great example there because they do it and it's egregious. And this is just
decide what to do.
so okay, you know, only took us
The wheel has turned again, Watcher.
7 fucking minutes to get to this point. Well, okay, all right. Now I've clicked start game. I made it through one cutscene and a second cutscene and an interactive pseudo cutscene. Now the game must start, right? Now, please let the game start. Disco Elysium just, bam, throws you in the role playing. And we've sat through 2-3 loading screens so far. What the fuck were you thinking? Like, I kind of get it, but also, one of the huge problems with the original game was too much lore dumping, and this is just all lore dumping.
An aged dwarf shares this strange floating platform with you, His face is creased by so many wrinkles.
Okay.
His features lie buried.
Now, to be
amid
honest,
shadowy pockets of skin.
when I'm playing,
Still,
I
the
speed
dwarf's
read these
well-practiced
and I
habits have
click
left
through.
telltale tracks
But to
of
emphasize
a
my
welcoming
point,
rictus
I'm not going to
across
do
his
that.
visage.
Just so we see exactly how long it
You
takes
can see his smile
to
coming
get
before
through
it
to the
glows,
point where the
reshaping
game
the
is
dwarf's
like,
face from
well,
gaining sacrifice
start over,
into something resembling an oddly
and
carved
compare the two.
Mary Gore, replete with unhealthy bumps and discolored splotches.
As in Disco Elysium, a lot of the time,
The creases of the dwarf's face tighten into a smile as he gives you
a lot of the
courteous
time leading up to the death and the reset was on me. And also here we're doing that annoying walking through a landscape and not actually doing anything thing. I get it's supposed to be cool ambiance, and it is kind of cool, but it's also, it's a bit much.
Sit. Please.
Great.
Thank you for joining us, Watcher of Cadnua.
The gaunt
Cat
woman
Nua was a
seated
dear
with
Whittigan castle built over the ruins of the English Passage, Old Nua, considered
seems
curious
too
few.
massive for her to move in.
It's so much lore dumping. I know what this is. I played the original game, but okay, presumably we're expected to read this because it's the first time we're seeing Cat Nua, and so you became the de facto lord of the castle after defeating its previous master, the Watcher, called Merwald. Why do I need to know that? After the Watcher of Cat Nua, you ruled the stronghold until it was destroyed by Eothas, the god of light, occupied the outer body of Maris Nua beneath the castle and pulled himself out of the ground, destroying it in the process.
A pale, slender neck rises from the gorget, topped by a hollow face. The milky skin stretched across it is delicate and translucent, like parchment that has been scraped clean too many times.
I really do like this is like a storybook. It's really good, but also get to the fucking point.
She's preoccupied with the arrangement of cards on the table between you. With each movement, her armor squeaks and groans as though bearing an incredible weight. She places a final card, gives a nod of satisfaction, and raises her eyes to meet yours.
Like this is like playing D&D with a dungeon master who's like so fucking satisfied with their ability to spin a yarn and speak eloquently that they just go on in excruciating detail and just paint this portrait of the world for you. But dog, I'm not here to circle jerk around this beautiful thing you've painted in a role-playing game or a tabletop role-playing game especially. I'm here to collaborate with you and to build a story together. And yeah, as you as the GM or game designers, you're taking a big lead here, but it's a journey, right? And you literally have me sitting in a chair.
Your brush with the divine has drained you of your powers, fractured your memories. Look upon these cards. They represent the courses of your life. You alone know best how they flowed. Arrange them to fit what you remember.
So, now, and this is cool and all, that you can import a Pillars of Eternity 1 save. I got this far, and I realized, fuck, I don't have my save, so I had to go and build this save, and it's not the game designer's fault, it's my fault for not keeping the save around, so I'm gonna save it, but I got up to this point, and again, we're like at 14 fucking minutes, so 12 minutes into the game, I got to this point and had to quit back to the main menu to create a new history because there's an import button, but there's not a create button here, but there is a create button if you go back to the main menu. Just bad UI, but whatever. No, not whatever, it's 15 fucking minutes of time. This is excruciating. It is only text, and God, I gotta say, the names in Pillars of Eternity are so forgettable that I couldn't remember 3/4 of the quests or characters that they asked about. And granted, it's been a few years since I played Pillars, but like, that's not a good sign. So I had to read the fucking wiki to be like, okay, what I do on this one? Alright, I went with that. And this one, oh yeah, okay, I remember that. And like, I don't remember any of these people at all. So we're just gonna skip the, oh my god, the 15-20 minutes of me throwing this together.
Does everything appear to be in order?
Yes.
Good. Welcome to the Beyond. I am Bareth. One half, anyway.
More
She
green
points a
text.
finger in the direction of the dwarf who led you here. Though the movement is slight, her gauntlet squeaks like a rusty hinge.
Bareth, god of death, cycles, doorways, mortality, and inevitability, the keeper of the cycle of life and death. Bareth is thought to seek to claim the lives of those who have lived past their time. According to folklore, Bareth is seen most often in the form of the Pallid Knight or the Usher, two skeletal characters who lead such people to their deaths by way of challenge or trickery.
The dwarf's rictus returns as he nods in the woman's direction.
Tell me, do you remember when we last met?
Now, this is interesting because it's starting to give us options instead of just press 1 for 15 minutes.
You came to that tower seeking our aid. You prayed for help in reaching Theos, beyond the Court of Penitence, but would not pledge yourself to me.
Now, again, more green text, but at this point, I'm like, oh, okay, we're picking up. I'm actually able to interact with the story more, or at all. I have some sort of agency, even if it's only making superficial conversational decisions. I feel like we're starting to get some momentum, even though it's been 15 fucking minutes. Theos Exarchanan was a member of the Engwithian. God, these words, I get they're kind of cool in that they're Gaelic inspired and but they're also and Grandmaster of the Leaden Key, an organization devoted to keeping secrets of the gods. Having allied with the goddess Worka, Theos possessed the power to recall the memories of all his past lives, making him one of history's most notorious schemers. He was killed by the Watcher of Caer Nua, bringing an end to Deerwood's Hollowborn crisis.
Still, a pledge unmade stands fairer in this court than a pledge broken.
And this is cool because based on what you just answered for the save, what you will be talking about here will be slightly different.
She places a card in the middle of the arrangement. A bell tower with no bell. Her fingertips slowly drag away from the card, faintly creaking as they retreat across the table.
But let me emphasize, we still haven't done character creation.
You had need of the gods once before. Now it seems we have need of you. The
Okay.
being that occupied
Now we're back to
the
just
statue
one
beneath your
option.
castle was the dead god, Aothus.
Yep, we've
Of
been over this.
We are certain. What we do not know is what his intentions are.
They fucking re-explained this at least 3 or 4 times. Like, oh yeah, that dead god is Aothus. Oh, I think that giant is Aothus. Well, yes, I get it. I watched the intro cinematic. Ardnua. Ardnua was a powerful Engwithian tyrant. These words don't mean anything. Engwithian? I haven't played the original game. Assume I haven't played the original game. What's Engwithian? What, his son Maros? Does this matter? Does this not? What context is there for this? But again, that's an aside. Because he knew there were no gods to ensure he would be properly reincarnated, he dedicated his life to carving a massive statue of his son out of living Adra with the intention of drawing Maros' soul out of the beyond by force. Ardnua was defeated by the efforts of other Engwithian tyrants, who buried him with his work. In later centuries, colonists built a castle over the ruins and named it Cadnua. Like the ruins themselves, Cadnua was considered cursed, and then Aothas... No, we haven't read this yet. Got a rebirth, redemption, dawn, spring, and light. Traditionally shown as a man bearing a candle and wearing a silver crown, believed to have possessed the body of the... Again, word that doesn't mean anything outside of the context of the first game. Reed-Saren? Farmer Weedwin following the Saints' War, and has been destroyed along with Weedwin at the end of the war. He recently reformed his essence in the statue of Maros Nua beneath Cadnua. In the process of pulling himself the endless paths, he destroyed the castle and left the Watcher of Cadnua at the brink of death.
Though Aothus stole a large fragment of your soul, you were strong enough to survive the onslaught and enter the in-between.
The in-between refers to the shadow world that souls briefly wander... Why you gotta put briefly? Wander after death on their way to the beyond. It's been described as a hazy landscape, empty but for the glow of other souls, Adra, and Watchers. This is the space that the Watchers peer into when they observe and speak to lost souls and soul fragments. Even the gods cannot reach it.
You and he are still connected. He has chosen a body made of living Adra, perfused with the power of thousands of souls, including yours. It should be little difficulty for an experienced watcher to find him.
Why don't you do it yourself?
Taking a physical form in Aora is fraught with peril. Most mortal minds and bodies are incapable of containing divine power. It can lead to problems, as Aethys learned not long ago.
Yep.
Her armored hand gingerly places a card sideways on the table. It features a man with a burst of light instead of a head.
Let's get on with it.
Good. Before you return to Aora as my herald, you must remember who you were, the last whisper of life in death.
For a moment, the sockets of her eyes darken, leaving the pits of a death's head gazing out at you.
When you can picture your own face, the Beyond will lead you back to your own kind, to the world of mortals.
Okay. It took 19 minutes since pressing new game to get into character creation. What in the living fuck are you doing? This is a role-playing game, and it took almost 20 minutes just letting the game take its own pace to get to the point where I can make a character. Now, okay. This can take as long or as short as you want. Some people breeze through this without reading everything. Presumably, if there's text on screen, we're expected to read it, right? I'm gonna do us all a favor and breeze through this. But for the record, I think character creation, at least the first time you go through it, takes at least 15 or 20 minutes. Like, culture and background passes. And I'm running some mods right now, so this isn't all gonna be exactly on the level. Like, what's an Almua? Did we click on Almua and Kith, the word Kith, might. What the fuck does might mean? We're given no context for this. But let's just go with that. Island or coastal, okay. And then, okay, this is 2 might. How does that level up against, I don't know, a godlike? And God, the thing about godlikes is the most important fucking thing about them, unable to wear protective headgear, isn't listed down here in the bullet points. It's in the flavor text. But I like godlikes. Death godlike seems fitting, and this is mostly the character I'm running right now anyway, so I'm just gonna click on elf. No, I'm playing an elf right now. It doesn't matter. Single class. God help you if you multi-class. And then pick what I'm picking later on. But okay, how do I tell the difference between classes? This really doesn't tell me a goddamn thing about them. So you have to go in and preview the ability tree. The ability trees look like this, which is just kind of overwhelming, and I guess it has to be, but like, holy shit. And of course I picked wizard, so maybe this is an extreme one. Let's go with I don't know, barbarian is baby's first role-playing game class, right? Like, this is a lot more simple, but still like, wild charge, frenzy. I have no idea how important action speed and fit inspiration is. Is prone good or bad? Like, how effective is prone? So much of this, and this is a TTRPG problem in the style of D&D, that there's so many fucking words. There's a vocabulary you need to have. Like, God help you if this is your first time going through it. So I'm just gonna Mage Slayer. That sounds weird and not appropriate, and then let's pick Wild Charge because I don't really care and I'm not actually playing this character, so let's just go there. And this is bad design. This is really bad design. So the attributes I just picked, right? Now you pick a thing that further modifies those attributes. So these are interesting from like a role-playing perspective, so it makes sense, but culture first, right? But now let's say, I wanna boost my might up to 19 so that I can keep everything at 18. So I'll go back and now, okay, that can go there and that can go there. It seems like it should come after But whatever, I guess that's a nitpick, and this, again, looks different than what it would actually look like, and, oh god, you have to go through and, oh, what's survival, what's diplomacy, what's history? I don't have the context for how often this is used, or how important it is in relation to other things. I haven't had tutorialized skill tests or anything else yet. Sam a midwife, why not? Weapon proficiencies, cool. How do you tell the difference between these? Mace proficiency, hatchet you have to fucking right click on them, and read this, and this doesn't easily, transparently, coherently explain what the fuck the difference is. You can right-click multiple things and drag these around and be like, accuracy versus deflection. Okay, same attack time, same recovery time, same damage, same penetration. So you make a guesstimate, and then you move on, or you just pick whatever sounds cool. Then, I don't know why they still use the portrait system instead of just screenshotting a picture of your character's head, but whatever. You can hem and haw over this for a while, then pick all the colors, then pick head shape, then pick a voice, then pick a pose, then click done, and this is all normal, and this is all normal. And there's good character creation depth. But I wanted to do this now almost half an hour ago. Well, whatever, it's done now. I'm ready. I'm excited to play the game.
Know that I do not give you this title lightly. When the time comes, you will have the power to reveal the souls that cling to you, to open the gateway from the in-between to the waking world. Find Aethys. Learn his plans. When I have cause to talk to you, I will summon you.
With a quick gesture of her hand, you feel a sharp pain in what would be
Fuck, did I miss the option that just resets the game? This is gonna be a hell of a rant if I just completely fucking missed it. If it was before character creation.
A chime. Do not fear, Harold.
The dwarf nods.
No, fuck, I missed it. So, before character creation...
Time is not on your side.
Oh god, let's just... I'll demonstrate it, and I'll demonstrate a lot faster. So, getting to character creation took, what, 22 minutes? And it was exhausting building that character. It took 25 fucking minutes to get to the point where we could go through that door, right? Now, that's including loading screens, and that's including reading all the text. So let's breeze through it. I could have started Disco Elysium listening to each of the voice-delivered lines and died in the exact same way twice. I could have been in the game, playing the game, twice by now. Now that start and skip intro was not there the first time, so I thought I'd have to suffer through basically 3 cutscenes just to get back to the point where I could make my character again. Which obviously put a bad taste in my mouth. But honestly, even this is too much.
An aged dwarf. You can...
An aged dwarf, I don't care. And the whole cool reveal of the path slowly coming up out of the void to greet you. No, it's annoying. I just want to click there and get my hand off the mouse, especially because I'm not running. I can't adjust the rate that I'm going. It's just so slow.
Please.
And especially when Steam has a refund policy of 2 hours?
Does everything good?
This eats into so much of the time you have to preview the game. Am I dead?
Delicately places a card upright on the table.
I know. Their souls remain in Aethys still.
Here's the fucking choice.
You have the power to save them. Serve me and I will return you to your body. Or don't, and return to the wheel.
So I thought, I'll take the wheel. It'll make me a new character who's forgotten everything from the first game, just like I was in the first game. I'll have to relearn that I'm a watcher. I'll have to rediscover all this stuff. Okay, taking the wheel makes sense for like your first playthrough of the game, especially if you don't remember the first game, or if you've never played before. Wow, I'm really... yeah, that's cool they put this in the game, that you already get such a dramatic breaking point. I'll pick that.
This will prove much more difficult without someone of your unique talents and circumstances.
She raises her gauntleted hand and gestures to the dwarf hovering at the periphery. The dwarf nods, the supernaturally wide smile returning to his face. He gestures for you to follow him.
Now this text is like, ooh, are you sure you want to do that? Yeah, I picked it. Why wouldn't I be sure? Like, there's nothing to signal that this will end the game. She just said, it'd be a pity if you do that. It's gonna be hard without you. Like, okay, whatever, fuck you. Different start to the game. Let's follow him.
No sooner has Bareth spoken than you feel yourself dissolve. It is not an unpleasant sensation. Something between falling asleep and drifting on a warm current. Your essence is pulled through the Adra, where it mingles with the stuff of thousands of other souls. Your thoughts, your memories, even your identity as the Watcher, fade like a dream.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna jump into the game, right?
Eventually, your soul reforms and finds its way into a small, crawling thing of fur and claws. You know the world by sound and scent, as food and danger. The concerns of gods and nations are beyond you. It is a simple and satisfactory existence, though your mind can conceive of no other. Whether it is a long one will depend upon the Watcher Bareth chooses in your stead.
So, okay, does this mean we pick a new Watcher who isn't from the first game and it's a cool divergence? Yeah, there's a lot of promise here. No. It throws you... And this is some goddamn golf. It doesn't throw you back to the beginning of that conversation. It doesn't restart the game for you. No, you get this slow, ponderous interlude. This isn't a loading screen. Into the fucking credits. What the hell? Oh, well, at least you can speed it up. But, of course, you can just hit exit and go back to the main menu. But, look, it's been half an hour. Now, granted, let's be generous and say 10 of those minutes were spent in character creation. It wasn't, like 6 in me complaining the whole way. 25 minutes? Just for the game to yeet you out of it so you have to start it all over again? Disco Elysium, I laughed. It was kind of humorous, it was depressing, it kept in the theming and the feeling of the game. It just built the character more. It made it all the more obvious what a worn out, washed up piece of shit cop I was playing. How the guy's completely worthless, that, like, I can die from just trying to turn on a fan. That's what gave me a heart attack, the first fucking thing. Like, oh my god, it's a character and world building moment that got me more excited about playing the game, more appreciative of the game's mechanics. It was really, really, really fucking good. It's super rare for a game to allow you to fail and die and have to restart in a way that feels good and exciting. And this is the complete fucking opposite. It was long, it wasn't foreshadowed very well, it didn't teach me new things about the world, it just felt kinda cheap and lazy, and it's a but thou must. It isn't a real choice, because is that a valid end to the game? I don't know. When this came out, 20 minutes for $60? No, of course not. And it doesn't give me an achievement. It doesn't like, there's no credit for going down this other path that you're like, well, tough shit. And you can't quick save or save before that point or right before you have that conversation, so you can't just go back and load it. You have to start over. Oh my god. It's mind-blowing as a creative decision to put that in there and to handle it that poorly. I don't want to rag on it. I think casually this is a pretty enjoyable game. I'd give it like a 7 out of 10. I'm really enjoying the open world. It's kind of scratching an itch I had for some sort of role-playing game, but it's not It's not moving me. The names are fucking abhorrent. We don't... Gaelic is not memorable at all. But that's an aside, and I hate how this series does so much telling and not showing. Yeah, I was thinking about doing a tongue-in-cheek first look at this game and dying the same way. But the idea of trying to act like 30 minutes that I didn't see this end coming, and that I was putting in time into just... No. It organically happened with Disco Elysium, and I love it for it. With this, though, it's rough. So let's say I had paid the $60, and I wasn't sure if I wanted this game or not. Then half an hour with this app running, so I have an hour and a half left to try out the game. So I have to hop back in, hit new game, go through all that again up to character creation, which, as I demonstrated, if you know what you're doing, takes a couple of minutes. If you don't know what you're doing, that can take another half hour. So now you're an hour into the game before you even start getting into the tutorial. You're on a boat, you have to pick up some items, it teaches you how to do that, and then, it did not tutorialize well, it keeps on popping up things. 2 hours into the game, you're probably still on the fucking beach. Well, no, you're probably not on the beach, but you're not far enough along, and you haven't started engaging with the main game mechanics of, like, the boat, and your crew, and, like, the world map. You can't really make an informed decision about if you like this game, and if you consider it worth your time. And this is a really frustrating thing. I feel very strongly, and I appreciate that something like this takes a lot of time and a lot of energy and a lot of effort and a lot of money and a lot of sacrifice to make. And I do feel like the game designers, game producers, and game publisher should be rewarded for their effort. This is a quality product. However, in the first 2 hours of gameplay, I do not feel that it fully demonstrates to the player what it is as a game. Disco Elysium accomplishes that in 20 minutes at most. And this is a decades-old, masterful crew working on this. Decades old. We're all decades old, but I mean the crew that worked on Pillars of Eternity 1 and 2, they should know better. Like, I don't know, the storytelling is exhausting in this. The lore is fucking draining. And honestly, I'm enjoying the game the most by speed reading and skipping through 95% of the conversations, playing for the combat, playing for the loot, playing for, like, the vague gist of the quests. But this is so overwritten. And this is coming from me, and I know how overly verbose I can be. So I'm gonna put in a cut here. I like this game. I really like the original game. I'm not doing a series on this shit. Yeah. Till tomorrow? Whenever. Toodaloo, take care, see you then, bye-bye.